Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Buckle up for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the target center.
Not the game. We talking about practice, man.
That third strike play. Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown!
The return to glory.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. If you ain't first, you're last.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Takeover Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Seekert, and we are enjoying another Thursday night here in the Treasure Valley. It is, episode 144. We have made it this far, and thank you guys for tuning in. And I got to shout out the man that makes it happen in the back. Sean, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. So I'm glad you're chiming in with us. And the episode's not about Sean, folks.
No.
It's about a very special guest we have today. Her name is Anna Ferguson, and she is joining the show. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I kind of wanted to take a deep dive here. You know, I looked at your Instagram. I saw Trinidad and Tobago flag. I also saw Dubai. Break that down for me. What are we dealing with here?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of complicated and all over the place. So I'll try not to get too far into it. But I have dual citizenship for Trinidad and Tobago as well as the U.S. So, I got that through both my parents. They're both born there, and have tons of family from there. So, although I was not born there, I was born here in the U.S. I have dual citizenship, so that's kind of where the Trinidad and Tobago comes from. And the Dubai, the UAE, that's where I grew up for most of my life. So, I moved there when I was 3, and I lived there for 10 to 11 years. And then, that's kind of my whole childhood was there in Dubai. And then I moved to Vegas and went to high school in Vegas. So that's kind of where it all connects to, I guess.
Because that's what threw me for a loop. Because on the gymnastics roster, it says Henderson, Nevada.
Yes.
And then I see Dubai, Trinidad. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I got to ask this off the bat. I need to figure this out.
It's pretty complicated. It took me quite a while myself to really wrap my head around, or, people, all my friends are like, okay, so where are you from? And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even know. Yeah.
So Trinidad and Tobago. So you moved there. You were born here, right?
Yes, I was born in near Chicago, but I don't remember much of that, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
So you went Chicago, Trinidad.
No, not quite.
There was another stop?
Well, no, I was born in Chicago. I spent a year in Florida, then went back to Chicago. But I don't remember any of that. So it's kind of irrelevant.
That's just what you're told.
That's just what I'm told, yeah.
Okay.
The main thing I remember was once I was in Chicago when I was 3, after we went Chicago, Florida, Chicago. Then I went to Dubai when I was 3. So I only really remember once I was in Dubai, the time I had there. So from Dubai, I was there until near the end of 2017. And then I came to Vegas, or Henderson. So Henderson's pretty much
Vegas.
Yeah.
It's
so
right outside.
Exactly. It's the same thing. So and then Trinidad and Tobago. I've never actually permanently lived there, but we went there a lot in summers to visit family, and whenever we had summer break, we would go and see grandparents and cousins and the rest of it. So
so you were never resided there, but
no.
you just darn near the whole family's there.
Blood's there, you know.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. So you're in Vegas. When did you get to Vegas?
I got to Vegas. So we were kind of going back and forth between Vegas and Dubai in 2017, but I officially lived there 2018.
Okay.
So the year right before I started high school.
When did you graduate high school?
2022.
Okay. And were you doing gymnastics throughout high school?
Yeah. So I pretty much moved to Vegas for gymnastics for the most part.
Okay.
So although my family's also from the U.S., we didn't really know where we were going to go back to, since we didn't really have a home in the U.S. Okay. So it was pretty much where would gymnastics be best for, and Dubai didn't have that much gymnastics opportunity, and the gymnastics world there is very small. So if I wanted to one day be a college athlete or represent my country or something like that, it was best to come back to the U.S. So that's kind of how Vegas fell into the loop. It was kind of a random and last-minute decision, but my sister and I moved to Vegas first, and then my family followed soon after. And yeah, we trained in Vegas at a local gym there, and we were online schooled for all of high school, so that was definitely interesting. And yeah.
It's COVID, right?
No, actually. I was online schooled starting when I moved to Vegas, so I actually never went to like regular high school. I went to a charter school technically, so I would go into school once a week for like tests and to meet people and.
When COVID hit, you're like, I've been doing this.
Yeah, when
on.
COVID hit, it was pretty much the same story for me. We did practice sometimes 9 to 5, or later on it was 9 to 3. So it was pretty much gymnastics, and school was kind of just to do later, more like homework. But
okay. So, and when did you first start doing gymnastics? Do you remember like the time when you kind of fell in love with it or wanted to do it?
Yeah, there's kind of a blur as well. I was put into gymnastics by my parents when I was maybe 3-4 years old. I didn't start classes, like proper classes, until maybe I was like 5.
Okay.
But it was always kind of like I was kind of always in it, but my parents were pretty good with putting us in like swimming and ballet and gymnastics, kind of just to feel out what we might. What our path
liked.
might be, yeah. And then as the years went on, gymnastics kind of just got the spotlight. But yeah, we definitely got to pick and choose what direction we wanted to go with that. So,
okay. And then was there ever a moment in your childhood where you're like, oh, gymnastics is the one?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was I started like cutting off the sports activities that I just did not like. Like I remember my mom would like make us do piano classes, and it was the worst thing ever for me. I hated
piano
it.
Too.
It was so it was so bad. I remember that's one of the things, like we would get home and she would like be like, okay, you need to practice your piano, and it would just be
Mom.
I know. Yeah, it was horrible. She meant well by it, but like that was the first one to like get off the list. And then I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I'm not very tall, and so swimming was not really the go-to for that, even though it was like good to learn. But I don't think competitive swimming was really in my field. And then it kind of got between ballet and gymnastics, and I did like ballet, but I think I definitely had a heart for gymnastics more, and I began to go to gymnastics classes more days a week than the ballet classes, and before I knew it, it was pretty uneven between the two. So
okay,
yeah,
so it kind of just happened. It seems.
Yeah,
like.
I think my parents helped a lot to make the decision in a way, but at the end of the day, it was always my choice to like continue it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like even at home, we would, we had a trampoline in their backyard and a little like play set, and it was always like me flipping around and just like I think it just came more naturally than me sitting and just playing the piano. Yeah. Yeah, not really my
playing
thing.
hot cross buns.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so fast forward. You've been doing gymnastics a ton. In Vegas, it kind of started to get competitive. Is that when you were like, okay, like were you training in high school at all, or were you just like kind of doing gymnastics?
Definitely training. Yeah,
Okay.
So with gymnastics, there's a very like short like lifespan or career span, I guess.
Yeah, please. And,
No, you're good. Yeah, it's gymnastics. It's not like other sports in the way like you can't really do it professionally for a living like well into your years, like in your even 20s and 30s. Like a lot of gymnasts peak at a very young age at like you wanna a lot of gymnasts peak at maybe 14, 15 years old, but you're wanting to reach your highest level, maybe late teens, early 20s, if that.
Really?
And then after that, it kind of gets a lot harder to do. So for gymnasts, there's like 2 paths really. If you're wanting to become a high level gymnast, is there's the college path, and then there's the elite path. And the elite path is what people see on like the Olympics and World Championships and things like that. And then the college path is kind of like the final chapter for our career. There's not
really.
Yeah. So there's a lot of times you do your professional career before you do your college career, which is different for sure. And
Very different.
it's changing a lot as the years goes on. like me, myself, I'm in my college career right now, but I'm also about to do an elite competition next week. So it's kind of like I'm in the middle of both of them, but that's quite rare, actually. Usually, like a lot of Olympians have gone to the Olympics and then they go to college after that and do college gymnastics, just because you don't know how long your body would be able to really like hold up a very like demanding sport.
It's very physically demanding, I'm sure.
So yeah, in college, I mean in high school, sorry, my main goal for me was to try to get recruited for college. So I spent most of my time trying to reach the highest level in kind of like the preparation for college, which is like junior Olympic levels. And that's basically levels that start at level 1 and that goes level 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to level 10. And once you reach level 10, that's when you're like the level to be recruited for college. So pretty much all throughout my childhood, it was like trying to hit these different levels of gymnastics to reach level 10. And once you're level 10, then it's like, okay, now I have a chance to get recruited. So yeah, it's pretty complicated. I'm trying not to get it too over your head, but yeah.
I have questions.
No, you're good.
So who decides what level you are? Is there like judges and then it's on your like resume, I guess?
Yeah,
or
no, yeah.
am I kind of?
Yeah, no, you're getting there's judges. So to pass a level, I believe you have to like score a certain score in order to say that you've qualified for the next level. So in like level 1, there's like compulsory routines or routines that you have to do that everybody has to do in order to move up to level 2. And if you're not able to do those routines to the extent that the judges are looking for, you can't get the okay to go to level 2.
Gotcha.
And then it's just like consecutively gets harder each level.
Okay.
And once you get to like level 6 or 7, then it gets more like individualized and you can start kind of, I don't know, doing your own routines and trying to get to a higher level. Yeah, I know it's a little complicated. It's so normal to think about for me, but I forget that it's a different language for other people.
It's unlike any other sport that I follow.
No, it is.
Which
it's
very
fascinating.
Different. And so you do end up going to Boise State.
Yes.
And did you choose Boise State out of other schools? Were they the only one? Like, what was that recruiting process like?
Yeah, so for me, recruiting was, I would say, a little bit more unique compared to other people, just because coming to the U.S. at a further place in life, or I didn't have much experience like competing in the U.S. So a lot of times, if you're competing a lot in the U.S., your name kind of gets out there like anything else, and it's a lot easier to get recruited when coaches know you or schools know you or you have that experience. And I was definitely lacking a lot of the experience that is needed to get recruited. So for me, it was definitely tough to get recruited. I had to reach out to plenty of schools and try to get them to, look at my routines, look at what
level 10. I'm a level 10.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
Exactly. So, I didn't have that many offers. I had a few D2 and D3 offers, that I was definitely looking at, but something about them, I still just didn't feel like they were exactly what I wanted. And Boise State was always a school that I had pretty high on my list of wanting to go to. At first, it was definitely like, okay, is this out of my reach? Just because I was going back to level 10, you have to be like really Division I ready. They expect you to kind of do level 10 for about 3 to 4 years.
Oh, so you have to hold that.
Yeah, so once you're level 10, it's pretty much like trying to execute that so well so that colleges want to have you. So if you're like level 10 for 5 years, it shows that you've been like that good for 5 years,
Oh.
So I only reached level 10 for maybe like 2 years before college, which is definitely like not exactly what colleges, they may see me as not as experienced as other people in that level 10 range,
Gotcha.
So it was definitely like a little bit of a stretch to try to get recruited.
Okay.
But I showed up for a camp here at Boise State, and I got to show them what I could do, and through videos and everything else, like eventually they offered me a spot on the team, and I know. But yeah, it was a pretty tough journey, and I had a lot of injuries like throughout it all to make it even tougher. But at the end of the day, it all worked out. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
And we're 100% healthy, no injuries.
I would say so. There's always like little thing. I was like walking around at the grocery store today,
Kinda
like
tweak something,
I was
you're
like, what is going on? But no, I'm overall, fingers crossed. I'm feeling pretty good. So
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Sweet.
Don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I saw on the Boise State roster as well that you're a part of forgive me if I mispronounce this, Salesiano Elite.
Right.
What is that?
Good. That was pretty good.
Did I nail it?
Elite. Yeah. So that's my the little wink to the camera. Good.
I know my gymnastics, everyone.
Yeah,
So.
Salesiano Elite, that's my club gym, the gym that I went to throughout high school. So when I went to Vegas, that was kind of like my school, Salesiano Elite. So
Okay.
yeah, so instead of like my high school, when you come to college, it's more like, oh, what gym did you go to? And I'd be like, Salesiano Elite.
Oh.
So that's where I spent almost all my time.
Oh, yep. He's pulling it up.
Oh, you're finding it. Yeah,
Anna
Salesiano-
Ferguson.
I had no idea.
5 feet tall.
They got that wrong. I am not 5 foot. And I'm
I
not.
don't know, guys. I'm gonna be honest.
No.
She walked in and I was like, 5 feet in shoes.
You can ask all of the girls on that roster. The height's off by at least 1 inch on all of us. I promise you. I am 5'1", and I will not lie about that.
So everyone's an inch taller?
Everybody's an inch taller than that. I'd give you that.
4'10"? Who's that?
That's Emma. She is pretty short. I'll give her 4'11" maybe.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
But yeah, so Salesiano Elite's where I worked there for quite a while coaching, and it's interesting seeing everybody's
Yeah.
now that I'm looking at them. But yeah.
Hey, Sean, could you go back up to Anna Ferguson for me real quick?
Yep.
I wonder what they have on there. I haven't looked
I
at
have
that.
I have a quick question.
Gosh.
That's quite.
They're right there.
Nice. All right.
Click on
so no, you leave that right there. Actually, bars, beam, and floor. Can we click on that? No. Perfect. All right. Well, I want to
explain
segue
that
into
too.
that. Yeah. So that is, I guess, where you specialize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your expertise.
Sure. Yeah.
So is that like, do you do? Okay, I'll let you explain.
No, you're good.
I
Those
don't
are-
want to look like an idiot.
No.
right now.
That's a very common question. I would say. I think that's something very valid for people to ask about.
Okay.
So
Yeah, run me through that. What
Yeah.
is the bars, beam, and floor?
So all throughout, when we're learning gymnastics, to get recruited, you pretty much have to do all 4, which is vault, bars, beam, and floor, which is just the events that we do.
Okay.
Sorry. And once
All
you
good.
come to college, it's a team sport now, so you can kind of specialize on the ones that you are more or less best at, or the things that you're more likely to compete. So for me personally, I came in doing all 4, and then as time went on, it was kind of to see which events were best I specialized, or the events I spent more time on.
Mm-hmm.
So it says there bars, beam, and floor, but I've mainly been practicing beam and floor this year, which is beam, balance beam, which is they're really
Yes.
skinny,
The
long.
brown, yeah,
Yep,
that was my
one.
favorite in gymnastics. I actually did gymnastics.
Wow.
When I was 5 or 6 years old, by the way.
Wow.
But enough about me.
Where did you do it?
Oh, geez. It was some gym. I've been here almost my whole life. I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of out in Cuna, Meridian area.
gosh.
I don't even know if it's still there. I'll be honest.
I coached at a club named Wings Gymnastics, but
That could be it.
it could
Maybe.
be.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's
Should I
so
look it
many
up?
gyms around.
Oh no, maybe. Yeah. Wait, where's it located?
It's by the Costco. Okay, it's by a Costco. I don't know.
A Costco.
It's not helping. It's not helpful
that
at
could
all.
be it. Honestly,
It's it's by the Mormon Temple as well.
Century Way, Boise, Idaho, 83709.
It's a big. They have other activities.
Oh, it's right
as
off the
well.
connector.
It's probably not.
I don't know if that's it, folks. I don't think
That would
that's
have been
it.
really cool.
I don't
though.
see my favorite foam pit either, so that can't be it.
There's actually so many gyms around Boise as well. So
I quit gymnastics once I got promoted, I guess, to the rings.
Oh.
They made me do that, and I was like, I like baseball.
yeah,
I like basketball. I'm gonna just stick to that. But the foam pit, by far the best part.
yeah. Pits are a lot of fun. I think we have a foam pit at at Boise State's gymnastics too. I know.
Do you
Can you
really?
believe it? We don't use it that much just because I don't know. Pits are mainly for learning new skills, and once you get to college, it's kind of perfecting the old skills. But it is super fun to have still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it never gets old.
It never gets old, but gymnasts start to not like it as much because you learn how gross they are. They're not very sanitary, and can you believe it?
No,
No.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
now.
And
Yeah.
and they get frustrating to get out of. Like once you go in and out once or twice, then
Oh yeah, it is kind of a pain. You're like,
Yeah.
you're sinking, and you're
Mhm.
like,
you'd rather just land on mats after that, basically.
okay.
But yeah.
But yeah, that's Wing Center. In case you guys want to go do gymnastics,
Yeah, come
check
visit
it out.
me at Wing Center. I'll be back there this summer.
Yeah, she'll be coaching if you guys need to learn how to do back handsprings, walk the balance beam. What else?
So what? Backhand, floor, beam. Oh, swing on the bars. Yeah.
I mean, she does it all. And so wait, we covered beam. What was the other one?
So beam is the one on the big tall balance beam.
And you do
And you-
cartwheels on that, right?
Sure,
Or-
yeah, we could do cartwheels on the bed. Like,
Okay.
yeah, jumps.
What do you
cartwheels.
pull off on the beam? What do you do?
You're not gonna understand. It's gonna sound like a different language to you, but okay. I do a flick lay, which is like a back handspring, and then then another back handspring, but without your arms, and then
Oh, okay, I've seen
yeah,
that.
yeah, and then I do some leaps, and I do some turns, and then I do a skill called an aerial, which is like a cartwheel, but with no hands. So you were close to it, and then
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah.
And they kind of extend their arms, but it's
Yeah.
in midair.
yeah.
Come on.
And then you can do plenty of stuff on the beam, actually.
Okay.
And then I do a gainer full dismount, which is
That's when you dismount off
dismount
the beam.
off the beam. Yeah,
Yes.
good.
And you do a
good.
gainer off of that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you stick it.
And then I
Right.
stick it and celebrate. Yeah, if everything goes well, at least. So yeah, that's beam. And then the other event that I do a lot is floor, which is
And what is the floor?
sorry, the floor is it's like a bouncy. It's a
Oh, yeah.
bouncy floor.
It's the blue bouncy
Yeah, it's
floor.
the blue
yes.
bouncy floor, and that's where you do like all your tumbling. So tumbling and you dance, and for girls you have music. So we like have music in the background, and we do like routines choreographed to that music. So yeah,
How cool.
I like floor a lot. So
And
floors
you
are my
just-
favorite.
Okay, and it said, so other people were doing the vault too. You didn't want to even get into that.
Oh,
huh?
so vault is like the one that you run really fast on, and there's like a table, and then you like put your hands on the table and you like fly.
Oh, yes, onto
Yes.
the mat.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So
We don't like the vault.
well, it's a love and hate kind of thing. I don't do it much in college, but since I'm doing an elite competition next week, I had to get back on that because in elite or when you're doing competitions internationally, you have to do all four. So although I don't do it like for Boise State that much, I still can do it. It's just not really my best event. So I
Okay.
don't mind it. I think I'm starting to like vault more than bars right now.
Really?
Yep. Even though bars used to be more my favorite, but
Okay.
things have changed.
And do you just kind of grow out of things, or I mean, it seems like you're kind of cycling in and out of these.
Yeah, I would say as much as I don't want to say it, I think I start to dislike the ones that are harder and the ones that get easier. I
The ones you're
prefer.
better at,
Yeah. So I think I've grown a lot on floor and beam. So beam was something I used to struggle a lot with. So it was like, I hate beam, not a big fan of beam. I don't want to do beam. But it's gotten a lot easier. So now I'm like, oh, okay, beam's not that bad. On the other hand, bars, I don't even want to look at bars. So
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of you have your favorites depending on the day and how things are going. But yeah.
Okay, and so some of your teammates are doing 2, like you're listed as 3. Can you choose how many you can do? Or are you, like, can you do 1? Can you do all 4?
Yeah, you can do all four. We have some girls that do all four and some girls that just do one. It really just
Julia,
depends.
all around.
All around, yeah.
Nice, Julia. Freshman?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody kind of has their own little things, and sometimes like may practice all
Sean,
four.
what the heck just happened?
I don't know. The internet's being a little weird.
Oh, you're getting okay, that's right. I
I'm
was like,
trying
where
to-
did everyone go, dude?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to scroll up and down. It's just not working.
You're totally good. Sorry.
No,
Anna.
you're good.
I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
you're fine. No, it just depends. Like sometimes we may practice like all four and only compete one, and sometimes you may like, compete 2 and practice 2. So it really just depends what's best, I guess.
Okay. And you know what is the best?
No.
The Boise State Broncos in the Mountain West.
Oh, okay. That was a cool transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won the Mountain West Championship. Congratulations
you.
to the women's gymnastics team.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no.
so, what was that experience like?
It was a super cool experience. It was it was the first year that Mountain West has like introduced gymnastics, I guess. So we were technically the first ever Mountain West champions. Yeah, so
Wow.
it was pretty cool, and I remember we went into it like feeling very confident. We were feeling good throughout the whole season, and I guess we were expected to win, which was a bit of a we wanted to hold up to that expectation and do well. So we went out there, and it was at Utah State, and it was against Utah State, Air Force, San Jose, and us. And
So just you four?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And it was pretty cool because it was a close competition actually, which made it all more eventful. And so it all came down to the very last few routines to really secure the spot and secure the win.
Ooh, a nail biter.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
like there's so many photos of us just there like waiting to see the results. And then when the results like showed that we won, it was just like a huge relief for all of us. And it was a very exciting feeling. And then we went right on the bus right after the competition and drove back to Boise, and we were just like celebrating on the bus. And I'm sure you can imagine music was playing, and our poor coaches were exhausted, but
Yeah.
we kept the whole bus very
Oh, no, we
lively.
We won the conference.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
exactly.
Sorry, coaches.
I know. So
It's time to party.
we were going like delusional off of like exhaustion and just like
Yeah.
all the adrenaline still pumping. But no, it was
Leaving
awesome.
Logan, Utah, just
Yeah, we stopped to get like ice cream to celebrate.
as you should.
Exactly. So no, it was a lot of fun.
So, why was it hosted in Utah State and Utah State was involved? Were they like the number 1 seed? I have a lot of
I
questions.
honestly don't really know. I think they just rotate it. So I think
Okay.
I think it just happened, but I could be wrong. So somebody could be like, that's not true. But I don't know. I think it just rotates. So I think it was just Utah State. It's like they must have just picked it, and then I'm assuming it will just rotate to each school as the years goes on. So
Okay.
at some point, we'll get it.
It could
too.
be here.
So, yeah, it could be here next year. Stay tuned.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. They're gonna go back to back. And then, how many teams are in the conference? Is it just those 4?
Just the 4 right now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
everyone's involved, no matter what the standings were throughout the competitions.
Yeah. So we go against other schools like throughout the year.
Okay.
And so basically it's all quite complicated, but really we try to go against each school in our conference at least once.
Okay.
So it's kind of like football in that way, I guess. Like you try to go against people in your conference, like to see like a preseason ranking, I guess. I mean,
yeah, to get
what's
the
it called? Like
seeding for the playoffs.
yes, except we try to get like the seedings in a way, so then we get the what's it called? There's
The
like a
top
name for it.
spot,
You
the
can-
first round bye.
No, because I know what you mean because it's usually like that. But for gymnastics, since there's only the 4 schools, we're all going to compete no matter what. Like against
Right.
it all comes down to like this one competition. There's no there's no rounds. There's only one competition for that
Okay.
championships.
So I was gonna say home field advantage, but I guess you said it like rotates, so that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, so we may get like Utah State definitely had home field advantage being at their gym.
That's what I figured.
Exactly.
So I was like, that's kind of messed
It
up.
is a little bit, but at the same time, like gymnastics, there's you have to have like so much space to like have all the equipment, and there's just like so much that goes into it that it makes sense for them to just like do it at a school that we're going against, anyways.
Okay.
So yeah, I was trying to think. Yeah, kind of. I know what you mean though because my boyfriend's on the tennis team
Okay.
at Boise State, so I know like since they're always trying to get seeded first in conference, so then they get the bye week going into the first round.
Okay.
In their conference. So I can see what you mean by that.
That's
but-
what I would have presumed.
Yeah. But
but-
for us, since there's just the 4 schools, it's just a one-time championships. Like,
Okay,
go.
it's like, hey,
I mean, this all or nothing.
It all matters now.
Yeah, which is like, it's kind of nerve-wracking because, if there's a lot of mistakes or it could go wrong real fast, like, you don't really get any other chances to win that championships. It's like a one day, one afternoon. Like, you could be, expected to finish last in conference, and it just takes one competition where things go really well your way and you can win. So it's very like flip a coin almost.
And how does so you said you guys were all waiting there, anticipating. How
Yeah.
does that scoring work? So do they not reveal any scores until the very end?
No, they do. They reveal scores, but it was just very close. So
Okay.
it got like very close to the end where coming into like the last rotation, we still didn't really know. Sometimes there's a pretty clear lead, but
Uh-huh.
with gymnastics, like anything can really happen like once you're on that last rotation. So it's kind of like there's 4 quarters if you think of it like football.
Okay.
There's just each event, so vault bars being floor. So once we're on the last event, it's like the last quarter. And so
Ooh, okay.
anything can kind of happen in that last quarter. And it all came down to like the very last girls to see like how close the difference was going to be between the scores. So
Okay. Oh man, that's intense. Okay. So, Anna, what's like the best trick or like the best stunt you have right now that you feel like you like if any judge was like, show me your best move, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Huh. I haven't thought about this one in a long time. I would say, okay, I'll just give you one that I enjoy doing that I think is somewhat good. I like doing a double back on the floor. I enjoy it a lot. It's like a round off like handspring, and then you do like a double flip in the air. And yeah, I think that one's something that I do quite well, I'd like to think. So yeah, I'm gonna say that one. I think it's one of my more difficult skills. So yeah,
Okay. But it's your favorite, or is that one your favorite?
I would say it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's something I, yeah, I would say it's one of my favorites. Like, it's kind of hard to pick because it takes one of them to not go well, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate doing this skill. But for the most part, I enjoy it because you get to like fly really high, and it's usually something that I do quite well. So I enjoy like that feeling of putting like my power into something that I can like just shoot up really high in the sky. Whereas some other skills in gymnastics, you have to like control more and be more like precise. But then with like the big high double flip, you can just kind of jump as high as you can and flip, and it's pretty fun. It's like just flipping in the air. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is there anything you haven't tried yet that you want to, or have you tried everything? Or something that you're like, I wanna take a stab at that.
I think there's some things on like vault that I kind of want to try, just to like challenge myself and have a little fun with it. But
Okay.
I would say for the most part, like a lot of the skills that I'm doing now are like pretty fun skills and skills that I've like when I was little wanted to do. So it's like pretty fun doing them now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like always cool learning new skills. I think that's something really fun about like being a gymnast as you're growing up. Is like you're always trying to like unlock these new skills. So
Right.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. And so does coach tell you what to do at practice and everything, or do you girls kind of just like, all right, this is what we're doing, this is like what does a practice look like? Gymnastics practice.
It's pretty structured. So I
Okay.
think like we get like a weekly assignment, which has like in each day like what we're supposed to do on each event.
Okay.
And so we would all warm up together, and it's a pretty like structured warm up. We're doing things like all together at the exact same time. Like everything's very structured in gymnastics. So we're always like in sync. We're always matching. We're always doing like exactly what each other are doing in like warm ups. And then, the coaches tell us what our assignment is each day, and it's always a little bit different every day. And then we do that. And then for conditioning, we usually do that in the gym as well all together. So it's pretty structured, and they definitely tell us, what to do. But we have our word to say, like, if we feel like we need to do extras or something, we can let them know, and they'll be like, yeah, go do extras of that. Or if something's not feeling right that day, we can ask to modify and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty mixed. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just curious. So like when you're competing against other schools, is there ever like beef or like how am I trying to say this?
No.
Like, any grudges, or like if like another school lands something crazy, you just go, oh, what the heck? Are you all rooting for each other?
It's quite unique in a way of like in gymnastics we don't really go like head to head that much, so it's like we can't really control much of what they're doing, and neither can they in terms of like our gymnastics itself. So we're pretty like nice. People would say like we don't, we're nice to each other. We it's a very like mutual respect, I would say, between each other. I would say the one time it may get a little bit like, ooh, like
Chippy.
yeah, it's like the judging, since judging is very like separate from the sport. So like if we think a school is being like overscored, that's kind of like where we would be like, oh, that routine, like not even on the gymnast, like we don't even really care about the gymnast, but it's like
guess,
those
yeah,
judges, like
'cause the
what did they
judges-
see?
yeah.
Like we don't really control the gymnast, but the judges, they have full control on who wins.
Yeah.
They have full control on like what somebody scores. So I think that's the one thing that's kind of like, oh, like did you see so and so, like that routine?
They got a 9.
Yeah, exactly. Like where's that
Yeah,
coming from?
what?
But at the end of the day,
I
it's
could
like
do that.
yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's more like, oh, like those judges, like what's the deal with that?
I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and not
'Cause-
really the gymnasts themselves, because at that point it's just like, you know, if we were getting overscored, like, you know, I wouldn't go talk to my friend about it. The other school's probably telling like the judges are probably doing it to us. So
Was there
yeah.
ever a moment where you're like, oh wow, the judges were a little friendly on that one?
yeah, I would say
You're like,
so.
oh well, I'll take that.
Yeah, no,
or-
I would say definitely not as much as me being like, oh, I thought that routine was way better than what she scored. Like, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, most of it's out of our control. And I see like other sports, you know, like the coaches are like going up to the refs and like yelling or like getting a little heated in the moment. Like gymnastics is very much like none of that. It's like we are going to be calm and everybody's going to
Zenned
be
out,
polite
yeah.
and everybody's going to just smile and be very polite. And that's kind of how it is with the coaches and judges as well. Most of the time, like if you disagree or if something's like really off with it, your coach can go make like an inquiry, but it's very like professional in the way of like, you need to go like write out what you think is wrong, then give it to the head judge. And it's like a very, like, there's a way to go about it. I can't personally go up as a gymnast and be like, oh, judge, like, what's the deal with that?
blind?
Exactly.
Come
We
on,
would
what are
get
you
in
doing?
huge trouble
Yeah.
and probably get points deducted. And it's a whole big thing. So for the most part, we're very much like, we clap for our other teams. We are very nice. And like, I think it's just like a respect thing as well. Like, we know how much this sport, like how much goes into it. And we know that like, it is a very like dangerous sport in a way of like, if you're having somebody just like heckling at you from like the crowd or like even other people, like things can go wrong really fast. So it's like, just for respect for the other person, it's like, I'd rather just her do what she can and, you know, see what happens and let the best gymnast win kind of thing.
Have
So,
you been heckled from the
like,
crowd?
I would say like they try to sometimes, like other schools, they like try to a little bit, but then they shut it down real fast because that's
Okay.
just the way the sport is.
Good.
Yeah, it's mainly for safety. Like, I'm all for it. Like, you know, it's sometimes fun, like in the environment, like if you're
Some
participating in
competition.
sports, yeah, like a
Yeah,
competition feel.
Absolutely.
But in gymnastics, it really isn't necessary. And I think there's like it's fun to like get into the sport and cheer and really get into it. But I don't see like the heckling and things like that. It could go bad real fast. So I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
And my boyfriend asks me about that all the time because
Uh-huh.
the tennis guys, they're always kind of like going back and forth, or like in between turns they may like say something to their opponent, and they're just like very much competition spirited, especially
Okay.
in college.
Yeah.
And then my boyfriend comes, he's like, oh, can I like say something to the other team? And I'm like, no, just
Just
be,
sit and watch.
yeah, just sit and watch, and you can cheer, but like he's like, but can I cheer loud? I'm like, yeah, but just not too loud,
put
you
a
know?
cap on
Yeah,
it,
like
yeah.
just yeah, it's I don't know if that's just me personally or if that's everybody in gymnastics, but we're very much like in the zone, locked in, like no distractions, and yeah, I'd like to keep it that way.
Well, Anna, so you're going into your junior year,
Yes,
and you're 2 years into your collegiate career right now.
right.
What are your junior year goals and aspirations for next season?
Oh wow, that's a good question. I think my main goal is to have another great year, all in all, like gymnastics and school and life and everything else that comes along with it. I think more specifically, I'm hoping to improve my routines and add some more difficulty in it and definitely get more consistent. I was happy with how my year went. I was very happy with how my season went this year, but I think there's always room for improvement. And I think just getting more consistent and getting even more experience out on the floor, I think that's something I really want to do. And just as a junior, being an upperclassman, I think being a role model to the new freshmen coming in and, you know, setting a a good face for the team in Boise State. I think that's a huge goal of mine, and just, maintaining. We have a great team atmosphere, and I think above all, keeping that team atmosphere the way it is super important, and just keeping that as a main priority. I think that's the main goal of mine. Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
answer.
I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest. So you got me kind of reflecting
Gears
a little bit.
returning,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and so you said summer, you're done. Okay, actually, question here. When does the gymnastics season start and end?
Right.
Is it like football season, fall, winter? Or?
It starts in January. So like our competition season starts in January. So it's like a
Okay.
winter sport. It's kind of like more similar to basketball in a way, I would say, because
okay.
it starts similar time to when they like start their actual season, I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I think basketball starts November.
Oh, okay, then I was definitely
It's
wrong.
totally okay.
Oops. But yeah, we start in January and it goes until like April. And we do
Okay.
it. Yeah, we don't compete nearly as much as basketball does. We do it like almost every week starting in January weekend. So just like a once a week thing. But we start like preparing for season like throughout like the summer pretty much. So summer practice is optional, but almost the whole team is here throughout summer. And then starting in fall is when we get like in the deep grind of like competition preseason, like
Preseason.
routines are getting there. Like that's when
Yes.
practice gets really hard, like longest hours. And then once like December comes around, that's when it's like, okay, cleaning things up, getting ready for January, which is when it's like
Game time.
game time. Like we don't have time to really change up things. It's more just like
Mhm.
whatever you did in preseason, like that's gonna have to stick because it's time to compete now. And then yeah, once competition ends, that ends like it ended a few weeks ago, right before school ends, and then yeah, it kind of slows down for a month, and then we pick it right back up and continue.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's pretty year round compared to other sports, but
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty important. I think gymnastics is one of those sports that you have to just stay on top of it like almost all year round for
Yeah, I was
sure.
gonna say it sounds like it's an all year thing.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so I caught you at the right time in May. You're only a month off.
Oh yeah. No. I actually am practicing now like pretty full force just because I'm doing like a personal competition outside of Boise State Gymnastics. So yeah, so I've been
Wow.
busy doing that, and then once I finish this competition, then I think I'll have my little time off.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm looking forward
Good
to
for
that
you.
for sure. Yeah.
And a couple more questions before we wrap up. Who inspires you the most? Can be in life or
Oh.
gymnastics. Who do you look up to?
I think I've looked up to quite a few people like throughout my life. I think I find it very hard to just pinpoint it on one person. I think just because throughout my life there's been different people that have influenced me, yeah. But I think my parents are always a huge influence on me. Whether or not I really would I can't even specify exactly what it is about them that that pushes me, but I think just their love and their support and everything that they've sacrificed for me over the years, I think just knowing that's a huge influence for me to keep going. I've had so many great coaches growing up, and I think I wouldn't be the person or athlete I am without them. So I think having those people to look up to when I was younger has shaped me to who I am now. And I think having those characteristics that pretty much led me to be the gymnast I am, those have helped me throughout life in so many different areas. So previous coaches, there's one lady in particular, her name is Tammy Biggs, and you probably don't know her unless you are in gymnastics, but she's a very, very well-known coach in the USA gymnastics world, and
Wow.
she's
Okay.
this sweet lady that people tend to be very scared of. I'm not really sure why, but she's a sweetheart, and she's somebody that was just very supportive throughout my gymnastics career, and somebody I still, when I'm having a good day, I text her and I say, "Oh, hey Tammy, like hope things are going well."
You still stay in touch with
I
her?
stay in touch with her, and
Aw.
she's getting a little older now, but she's always been like a huge cheerleader of mine. And even though she's a little bit older, she's the first one there to be coaching. She's the one that's there every step of the way, and she's been a light in the gymnastics world and somebody that I want to impress and somebody that I want to make proud. So yeah, I think she's one of my biggest inspirations.
I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out Tammy. I love you, Tammy.
Yeah, I love you, Tammy. Yeah, she's awesome.
Okay, and then Don't know if you've been following along. Sean, don't know if you're still awake, brother. You can you're crushing it, by the way. I'm seeing the tally lights.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, you can chime in on this as well, but Anna, I just want to know your thoughts if you've been following along with the Kendrick Lamar and Drake rap beef.
I have
What are your
absolutely no
thoughts?
idea.
You have no
I
idea.
have no I've heard there's something going on about it, but honestly I don't know. I really don't know Kendrick that much, and so I don't really know. I know it's not very I'm not up with the pop culture too much, but I've heard there's something, but I couldn't tell
It's
you what it's about.
crazy.
Can you give me like a brief recap on like what's going on?
Okay, yeah. So you know who they are, right? Like them as
Kendrick
artists.
and who's the other one?
Drake.
Yeah, okay, I know. Yes, I've definitely know them.
Okay, so Drake and Kendrick have never really got along,
Okay.
and it's been like about a decade.
Okay.
But it hasn't really been like they haven't like talked to each other.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, Kendrick makes a song with like Future and another guy.
I've heard of them. Yes.
Okay. And then Kendrick takes a shot at Drake,
Okay.
saying like, "Hey, like you say I'm in the big three. It's not us. It's just me." So then
Okay.
Drake goes, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" So then
Uh-huh.
Drake releases a whole diss track
Oh.
about Kendrick, and it's a nuts. So
And
then
it's like
Kendrick fires
clearly
back.
It's like clearly directed to each other.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's not like
It's not like behind. It's not like maybe
like a-
about him.
No, it's like, no, I don't like you.
Oh gosh.
It's crazy.
Why don't they like each other in the first place? Do we know?
You know what? I don't exactly know. Sean, do you know? I think it's just because Kendrick never. He always thought Drake was like kind of like fake
Oh, okay.
and like put on like a
well, that can do it.
yeah, like
Like an act kind of.
yeah,
thing.
like an act. He's not himself.
There's a lot of I know that I'm not very well versed in this, but I do know that he hates that Drake has a lot of ghostwriters or supposed
Yeah,
ghostwriters.
Drake
That's a big
doesn't really
thing.
write his own stuff.
Oh, okay. I
That's
was
what
gonna
that
ask.
means.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Like it's not his own pen.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
Yes.
Kendrick is like, I'm a writer. I'm better than you because you
okay.
don't write.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Kendrick called out Drake for like hanging out with younger women.
Oh, I heard something about that, but I don't know.
And it's like all allegations. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
both ways. Like they're all like throwing
Just throwing
allegations.
everything at them now.
Exactly. And you kind of have to assume all is not true or all is true at this point if you're
Right.
like not involved.
So are you like strong sided on one of them, or like you're just kind of feeling it out? and
So I really like both artists.
Okay.
Like just
Disclaimer.
music. Yeah. Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Just throwing that out there. But after like the disc tracks they released, I think Kendrick won. Going off of like quality of music that he released towards Drake. Sean, what do you think? Have you listened to him?
Have you heard Metro Boomin's version yet?
BBL Drizzy?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
See,
I think that's the winner.
That's another winner. And
You have to
he's
explain her
against
that.
Drake.
Yeah, you have to explain her
Yeah, I'm
Just put that
completely lost with
because
all of
there's
that.
a lot
Okay.
of words that just got thrown. out.
So Metro Boomin
We can-
is the guy that makes the beats for
Oh,
artists.
the beats.
Like Metro
Oh, yeah.
Boomin. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, not the headphones.
Oh, not the headphones.
No,
Like-
not, the,
I was
not Dr. Dre.
I was thinking
Yeah.
like the beat of headphones.
No, he just makes
I'm
beats
so lost.
for
I mean-
songs.
Oh, beats like the beats of the back.
Like in the
okay,
song,
I
like-
got you. Yeah.
Like Metro Boomin on the beat. Like he'll have like the tagline. Anyway, so he's made a lot of beats for Drake
Okay.
and other artists. And then Drake and Metro Boomin don't like each other.
Oh, okay, no. they
So
don't.
Metro Boomin released like this beat and it's called BBL Drizzy
Okay.
because he thinks Drake got a Brazilian butt lift.
Oh.
And so he's like, hey, whoever can make the best song off this beat gets like what, like $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
something like that. Did you know that song is AI?
Is it really?
The original, like the sampled song that he used, is all AI. I thought it was some
It's
old,
hilarious.
like old head in the 70s.
Would I know it if I heard it or no?
BBL Drizzy?
I could play it through here. I don't know if you can
have
post
TikTok?
it.
Yeah, I have TikTok.
You've probably heard the audio clips.
I probably
Of
have.
honestly, of all the diss tracks. You probably
Really?
heard
I
them.
probably just with not knowing
Yeah.
what's going on. I've just heard them.
You probably have, honestly.
Okay, I
It's
think
kinda
I
viral.
must have.
I can play it. I just don't know if you can. You might have to edit it out for YouTube.
I was gonna say, I think they'd flag me.
Yeah.
They'd be like, hey,
Especially with all this drama.
I know. Yeah, they're all over it. Actually, no, didn't Kendrick drop the licensing? So like you can play it.
Maybe.
Don't quote me. Don't quote me.
I don't know if we want to test it.
Don't come after me, Kendrick, please. I swear, dude. I'm cool. I'm cool. But yeah, I didn't know if you were following up
No.
on that. But
But it does sound very heated and very
yeah,
a lot going on.
it's juicy.
And Drake's
Sure.
security guard got shot last week outside of his
because of
house.
all of this.
We don't know. We don't
We
know.
don't
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Yeah.
It's alleged.
That's a lot.
It's on. Yeah, that was a little too serious. I was like, all right,
that's enough.
We don't need
Yeah.
to. Yeah, it's not like this. We don't need to. It's not worth it. And so they're saying there's so many people involved. It could have been someone else.
Oh yeah.
But it's died down.
Oh good.
So it's
So
been
we'll just
about a
wait
week.
another few years, and then there'll be another diss track, and then we'll just do it all over.
Or
again.
they could hug it out
Oh.
after a year. Who knows?
Maybe it's just all publicity act.
That's what I'm
Maybe.
thinking. Because Kendrick's sales have freaking skyrocketed. It's insane.
Any publicity is good publicity.
That is 100% true. It is. I mean, it's not wrong. She's not wrong. I think we can wrap up. But before we wrap up, Anna, I do want to I want you to look in this camera and then shout out to all the people that watch. What do we need to look forward to next season for Boise State Gymnastics? Sell us. What do we
I
need to see?
think you guys all should come and watch our home meets at Extra Mile Arena. It's free entry for students, and I think everybody will have a great time, whether or not you know gymnastics or you don't. It's something everybody should at least come and try to enjoy. I think it's a great time, and I know I'm a little biased, but even the people that have never come to watch gymnastics, we've had a lot of friends come, and they say they have a good time. So I'm going to take their word for it, and yeah, I'll see you guys there, hopefully. Yeah.
There you have it, folks. That was episode 144 of The Takeover. I'm your host, Ryan Seekert, and we will see you next time. Actually, no more live episodes, as you're probably now watching this. So look forward to that. I know it's unfortunate, but I'll be announcing the episodes as they're dropping going forward. So make sure to check that out. I love you guys. Have a good one. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have fun?
Yeah, that was very awesome.
Sweet.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Buckle up for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the Target Center.
Not the game. We talking about practice, man.
The third straight play. Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Diggs, sideline, touchdown.
The return to glory.
Now it's time for the takeover.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. If you ain't first, you're last.